Hey, so I have this little sample that I made. Sounds like that. It was originally a kalimba that I then resampled and did some stuff with. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a pattern in which I am just going to take that sample and I'm going to play it on the neutral C key so that we don't change the pitch at all. And I'm just going to record it on each one of the steps of the pattern. And to keep this short, I'm just going to go up to 4, and let's change the length of this pattern down to 4 so that that's all we have to work with. Okay, so now we have that sample on each one of the steps of this pattern, and since record is on, I can press the button on any one of these steps and we'll hear the sample. Okay, now turn the volume off on that. What I'm going to do now is, with the recording still on, I am going to change this guy over here to the parameter record setting, which will turn it red. And now what I can do is, if I turn the volume back on, note is still repeating, sample is still repeating. What I can do is I can take the length of the sample and make it as short as I want. And I'm just going to play this by ear. Let's do like, I don't know, 24. Okay, so now anytime I play step 1, we're just going to hear that little patch of the sample. Now let's go on to step 2 and do the same thing. I'm going to turn the length way down, back down to 24, and now I'm going to move the starting position up a little bit. So now we're getting that little patch. So step 1. And actually, let's move it forward a little bit. And now we can do the same thing with 3. Change the length to 24. Starting position up. And same thing with 4. Now, obviously, you could do this with all of the steps. I mean, heck, you could go up to 128 steps if you really wanted to, go crazy. But I think that's enough for demonstration purposes. Okay, now what we can do is, if we want to, well, a couple things. So first of all, if I turn record off and I press play, okay, that doesn't seem that cool. But what we can do now is we can go function and then stutter, turn stuttering on, and now if we press one of the steps, we have instant access to that step, and we can play it as if it's a note on the keyboard. And then I can go to 3 if I want, 2, 4, 1. And if I hold multiple steps down at the same time, they're not going to play as a chord, they're not going to play in unison, but they will kind of arpeggiate, which is kind of cool. All right, so, I mean, that's just for starters, but now what we can do is we can also, if we want to, let's turn actually parameter recording off. I'm going to mess around with the blend and the speed. Let's do some stuff with the density and I don't know, something like that. Let's turn the pitch down. Okay, now we can get some cool sounds. Let me turn the volume up. Turn reverb up. Okay. And you can see that it's kind of annoying. If I let go of one of the steps, it'll just start playing automatically. I need to turn the play button off for that to stop happening. But one thing that we can do that's kind of cool with the play button running is if we turn the tempo way down and then we turn, let me turn the volume off, let me turn the note length to as slow as we can possibly go. So tempo as slow as we can go, note length as slow as we can go. Now if we play this, there we go. We are instant ambient artists. So yeah, I mean, obviously this is just me screwing around. live for a couple minutes, I'm sure you could do all sorts of really cool things if you actually sat down and worked some stuff out and experimented with a sample. But yeah, it's not exactly having the ability to map a grain onto an individual key of the keyboard, but as kind of a hack, it's close, and you could do some cool things with it within the limitations that the Texture Lab has. Okay, I'm going to shut up now, and I'll just let this play us out.